Welcome back to What She Said Sports. Hey, everybody. Okay, so I put together a show based on what is happening right now, what is currently taking place. And we're talking about Shedeur Sanders. We're talking about Cleveland. Now, y'all, I put some slides together that we're going to take a look at. But we're essentially picking up where we left off of our conversation with Shedeur Sanders wrist up, right? Perfect timing. But some things have transpired since then, and we learned some things, and we're going to talk about some things that are actually going into a direction that, what did I say? It was going to eventually happen. And I think we're at the cusp of it. All right. So, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, Juanita, how you doing? So, how should I say this? People already know what we already knew, right? People now know what we already knew, or they already knew it, and now they're admitted to it. Who remembers Green Shirt? If you ever heard me say somebody, we refer to a person as Green Shirt. It's a sports analyst on a podcast out of Cleveland. And he was super negative about Shedeur to the point his own co-host called him out, nitpicking, talking about his jewelry. Then he found out Travis Hunter had jewelry, and then he didn't know what to say, right? Well, today, Green Shirt, not only has he changed his shirt, but he's changed his stripes. He thinks Shedeur Sanders could start. And that's what our conversation is going to go today. So if y'all recall me talking about Green Shirt, just know Green Shirt has changed his stripes, right? So a couple of other things are happening. What do we know? What we already knew. It's not news to us that Shedeur is him, but we know he balled out in 11 on 11s. Don't matter if he was with the first team or not, because here's the benefit to who he was working out with. He made fourth stringers look good. And it's probably first stringers wishing they could have had that opportunity as well. And there's some people that likely were going to get cut and they're going to get signed to the team. At least one or two of the receivers that he made look good. The guy that he led that was open and he threw him open. Yeah. And people pointed out, he put that ball placement to the point where only the receiver can get it. That's like surgical precision. And now they see who this guy is, but I don't know why they didn't know. And it's not because they weren't interested in him. Cleveland pre-draft extensively with Shedeur. But we don't hear Stefanski saying anything right now, right? We don't hear Andrew Berry saying anything. And I know I saw him on a podcast somewhere. I kept it pushing. But that means he making the rounds. We're going to start eventually seeing his input about things again. So I don't know why they letting him come out and say anything, because he the only one that hadn't said anything. Despite the negativity by Mary Cabot trying to reinforce that Shedeur is not him and he's a fourth string and got to work to earn it, what is she telling people? He worked out on the field over there by himself, meaning he ran 7 on 7s at a different part of the field. Who cares? Because that's where all the cameras want to be anyway. So, see, we couldn't see for ourselves. So people say they're hiding Shedeur from us. And the reason why they say that is why? Because they won't allow Shedeur to take 11 on 11 reps with starters. They only want him to work out with the fourth string team because they want to relegate him to the fourth string team. Not that that's where he deserves to be. That's where they want to put him. It should sound familiar because that's what they did in the draft. So why, if Shedeur has proven that what people are saying inside the practice facility, inside the organization, what top brass already knew, he the best QB out there. Shedeur is the best quarterback out there. So after 11 on 11s, and we were happy with what we saw, then we saw the media questioning each other, looking at each other going, he was a 5th round draft pick? And now he the best quarterback out there. And now people who hated on him think he's the best quarterback in Cleveland. So inside the facility, outside the facility, in Cleveland, fans are frustrated because they know this already. So they trying to get to the bottom of it. And I heard a question. And here it goes. This is the cusp of what I said is getting ready to happen. What I said was eventually going to happen. The blame game. finger pointing. Is Kevin Stefanski a good coach for the Browns? Whoa, where that come from? Where that come from? Why is his coaching credibility being questioned? And you know me. Well, I mean, the 2023 season was kind of curious. You know, I mean, they had 6 quarterbacks in total take rotation. And then what happened to Baker Mayfield? That's exactly what I said. That was my comment. I don't have an issue with Stefanski, but it's a real question after looking at the 2023 season. What the hell is you got going on? So, yeah, here we go. See that here we go. So Stefanski's being now questioned. Is he the best choice to coach for the Browns? Don't know why. Andrew Berry is on the podcast. I see him again the first time since he told us that Shedeur was they devalued him because he was retro style QB. In other words, his skills are not demand. We want dual threats. Yeah, okay. And you see how they treat the black dual threats, so they don't want them either. When last time y'all heard about KO? Milrow. Okay. Lamar Jackson. Okay. You see where I'm going with this. So it begins. The blame game. We on the cusp of it. The national media, now that the NBA finals seem to be over. Yeah. Coach Prime did an interview. Let's talk about it. Stephen A. now talking about Coach Prime's words. I can't tell if he had an interview with Coach Prime or if he's talking about the interview from Asante Samuel podcast. And now the pivot. Words from Coach Prime. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, okay. Because see, here's what happened. What did I say happened? On June 2nd, he was on Asante Samuel's podcast. And I did a whole separate video to talk about that on June 3rd. Some people that are generally a guest on NFL that have X or social media decided to go slither through the crevices and the cracks of the World Wide Web to places that you would have to stumble upon to give an interview, which further defamed Shedeur Sanders and painted him as entitled. So Coach Prime is now being talked about on ESPN instead of just Asante Samuel. And now the pivot is talking about it. Either Coach Prime is on there instead of just the one source. So Coach Prime seems to be on a world tour. And today, I saw a post where he was at the gazebo. I didn't know it had sound to it till the captions popped up. I just replied in the comments, oh, this sure looks like protecting your peace. He was back at his gazebo. He was back at his gazebo where he was when I told y'all I saw the post that said it's time for a new approach. And then what happened? He go on Asante Samuels. Then what happened? They slither and put out more the same defamatory statements, the same entitled trope to a select audience. And then what he do? Now ESPN got it. Now the pivot got it. And now he's back at his gazebo. Now we said it's time for some newness, and we don't know what that means. That has not materialized yet. But maybe this is it. So today, sitting by the gazebo, he's like reading in poetic form. Like basically saying, I know who you are. You have nowhere to hide. Or I see you. I see who you are. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, okay. To me, in the beginning, I ain't listened to the whole thing because my time is limited. I will say that. And it was given, I know who you are and I know why you in pain. I was like, okay. It's given what I said, that Coach Prime got a wheelbarrow of dirt on these people. And they don't want him to pull it out. And he very well might be, because it's time for some newness. And it don't appear that Shedeur is going anywhere. But is Cleveland giving Shedeur proper opportunities? No. Is Kevin Stefanski a good job? Is that where it's coming from? Because you holding him back. This is your choice. They put this on your shoulders. You said he's good. You like everything about it. So why, if he the best quarterback out here, is he not out here taking reps with the first string? Whose idea is that? They're making you think it's Kevin Stefanski's. Yep. It's time for y'all see, it's time for the blame game. We on the cusp of it. And the more Coach Prime keeps talking at his gazebo, I don't know. Some people might know exactly what it is he's talking about. Because I know he got a wheelbarrow of dirt on these people. And just a short period of time that I've been learning, it's a lot. And he on the inside, I'm on the outside doing research. So I put together some slides. We're going to look at it. All right. Let's see. All right. Let me know when y'all can see me. Okay, I can see me. So that means y'all can see me. We're at a very interesting place. And let me tell you why. We're at an interesting place because I told y'all the other day, no point in listening to Mary Cabot no more. Because why? We saw for ourselves who Shedeur is. New people saw who he is, and they like the guy that called in with the voicemail. Oh, I was riding with y'all at first, but everything from I seen from this kid is a class act. Now it's everything I've seen from him is the opposite of which y'all say he the best one out here. Whispers inside, loud outside. Nobody even cares about Mary Cabot and what she got to say no more. Nobody. All right, so let me pull up this Shedeur in Cleveland. All right, let's see if I can get to it. All right, I think I can see myself. Let me know if y'all can see me. I think I can see myself. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to try to stop it when we get to a good place. I think I see myself, so we good. If it go black for a long time, let me know. All right, so it's true. Shedeur Sanders finished OTAs. Today was the last day. It's true. In 2023, the Cleveland Browns started 5 different quarterbacks: Watson, Thompson, PJ, Flacco, and somebody named Driscoll. And then there was somebody else named Mondo or somebody that was in preseason. Technically 6. So they just count in the regular season. And then here's the depth chart for Cleveland. So this is what I want to take a look at, right? I want y'all to be able to see. I want y'all to be able to see who's on the depth chart. I got to wait for it to catch up over here. And this depth chart is going to tell you what the expectation was for each person. Okay? So this is really just offense. I didn't put defense intentionally. While I wait for my monitor to catch up. Hey, Juanita. Hey, Salafi, Rodney. How y'all doing? Kay Hayes, Tina, Jen. How y'all doing? Gracie. Thank you for holding it down. Isaiah. All right. So it said Mary Kay needs to thank Shedeur for making her relevant. Right. And now she's going back to irrelevancy. All right. So let's talk about the depth chart because my monitor caught up. As you can see, this is what 3 wide receivers and 1 tight end. And I told y'all they were running 2 running back sets, meaning 2 running back on the field. Now, this is already documented. And you know it's after the draft because Dylan Gabriel's on it at the quarterback position. But this tells you how they really see people. And Shedeur's not on it. That tells you how they see him too. And it might explain why he's not getting the opportunities. Even though he deserves better, they're sticking to a script. So let's talk. Deshaun Watson, questionable. Why? Because he may be injured. He might not be. Now, we just talked about Deshaun Watson earlier. I asked the other day, did they really take a big swing and miss with Deshaun Watson? Or did they scapegoat him too just to hurt Shedeur? Because Shedeur was that guy at number 2. Make no mistake about that. Then you have who? Who's second? Not who you think it is. Pickett. Why? Around March 10th, they traded for Pickett. They sent DTR to Philadelphia. So that tells you they felt like when they were getting Pickett that he was their best guy after Deshaun. So if Deshaun don't come back, they expected Pickett to start. Now, y'all have heard everybody say Pickett is the odd man out. Now they're saying Dylan is the odd man out with Pickett and that both of them should go and they need to get some other people. And there's reasons for that. I told y'all Pickett's record. Touchdowns and interceptions damn near matching. Not identical, but they fraternal twins for sure. Then who's third string? Flacco. The person everybody assumed would start. If you didn't look at the depth chart, you figured he's starting over Kenny Pickett because you know who Kenny Pickett is. You believe that Flacco is better. You believe they brought Flacco in because why? They know who Kenny Pickett is too. So why isn't Flacco listed as a starter? Because he's 40, and in 2023, they handed him a winning record, and he got hurt in the most critical game and couldn't play, and they lost. So he has not played a full season since when? If you heard me say it, drop it in the comments that the year was the last time Flacco played a full season. And then, who do y'all see in fourth place? Who is truly the fourth string QB? Without a doubt, hands down, Gabriel. Somebody they picked up in the third round when they were not planning to get Shedeur at all, because it does seem like early on, the owner said, take that entitled nice guy off the board. Early on, which is why I was just spiraling. So when they got Dillon Gabriel, and I've said it before, they had no real expectation for him to be QB1 at all. And then here comes unexpectedly, after we courted him early on as the number 2 guy, but backed away from him because the owner said, take that entitled so-and-so off the board. We knew exactly who we was, but we were following the script. We were following the orders we were given. And we let him free fall. And what did Andrew Berry say on day 3 when he was asked by a reporter, what did you think on day 3 when you arrived to work and Shedeur Sanders was still on the board? And he nonchalantly said, and I quote, we were going to see how far down he goes. So they was going to watch him fall. And then he unexpectedly lands in their facility. Now they got to get it. Now that's something right there. That's something. That explains the looks on their faces. Like, oh, shit. Remember, the email went out to 2,000 people who didn't need to know every freaking franchise, including the Cleveland Browns. All we don't know is that the equipment managers in the Cleveland Browns, did they get it too? Or was it equipment managers in the Falcons? Or was it all equipment managers? But make no mistake about it, Mary Cabot got the email too. The question is, when did she see it? Because Shedeur sent out his phone number a day before the draft is reported. The draft was what, a Saturday or a Friday? The draft was a Friday. So that was a work day. So that meant everybody was still at work when the email went out, unless it went out at 2 or 3 in the morning and you came back and you saw it that Friday of the draft. Because the Friday was the first day. So that was a work day. I was going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say a lot of people didn't see it until after the draft. So maybe they didn't know what to anticipate, because I forgot the draft did take place Saturday, but it started Friday. So it was a work day. So everybody saw it, including Mary Cabot, whether she say she saw it or not. That's the only reason you can explain her behavior, because she knew what was going on and she's sticking to the script. In front of you, Dillon Gabriel was never a high priority for them. Shedeur has proven to be better than Dillon Gabriel, but the Browns are sticking to the script. That's why he's 7-on-7 on a separate field, because they want the cameras and the media to stay over here. They don't want you to see what you already saw, and for many, what you already know. He's a first-round QB, because how am I going to stick to the script and bury him on the depth chart and not let him get in front of Gabriel? They do not want Shedeur to get in front of Dillon Gabriel. Can you imagine the questions if Shedeur is just in front of Dillon? You can already hear it when you see that Shedeur is better than Dillon Gabriel. That's obvious. And then more people are honest about it. He was better than him in college. So he definitely should have went before the third round, for sure. They don't want to talk about why they took a defensive tackle in the second round. Number 2, instead of, no, not number 2, their first pick. They don't want to talk about why they expended all that money on a defensive tackle when it was supposed to be what? Shedeur Sanders. So you see the depth chart. Now let's move on. Don't forget 17-32. We know Shedeur had a good day yesterday. So see right here, I made this chart. Let's see. I made this. I want to make sure that that's what I have. Okay. I made this chart because I wanted y'all to see that people are, for the most part, these are the things that they have said. I have checked off the boxes. And the question, there's no questions here. These are all answers. And I didn't check the last one because this is where we are. This is where we are. Immediately after 11 on 11s with the fourth team, all the excitement, I told y'all, look at the reactions of these guys, these wide receivers. Shedeur making fifth stringers look damn good. They said it was people he was working out with before that got signed to the team. We know he develops his receivers. They get ready to learn what we already knew, that the executive office and the Browns should have already known too, because what? Scouting, 30 for 30s, pre-draft extensively. But see, now you got other people who work in the building who, and hearing this, I'm hearing, I don't even know who he is. I just work in here. Remember, the equipment managers got it. So now they curious. Who is this guy we got this email about? They say he's not good. And we had to get him? See, because everybody's not 100% clued in on some of the stuff we even talking about, because they work in different parts of the business. And they like, that's him out there. So they peeking through the window. They're like, dang, he look good. Why is he a fifth round pick? So that was immediately what happened after 11 on 11s. He was a fifth round draft pick. And now I heard it today for the first time on one of the big box channels in name only. This is not by his skill set. So if he's a fifth round draft selection in name only, why wasn't it about his skill set? The way you do business comes to light. So that was immediately after 11 on 11s. And the media saw that. So that's who was saying he was a fifth round draft pick. He was a fifth round pick. That's why you hear it on the big box channels now. Yeah, in name only. I'm like, oh, here we go. Because didn't I ask the question before OTAs? When did Shedeur become a fifth round developmental QB? He's not. And now they're saying it in name only. Guess what we're going to get to next? So why was he in the fifth round if it's just in name only? You trying to say it's Coach Prime? And there was somebody that, shout out to Cam Newton, stood up for Coach Prime as a father against some dude who was saying, Coach Prime is doing too much meddling. He needs to be quiet. This is why teams passed on Shedeur. And people like, so you're going to say y'all colluded because he has a father? Because his father don't want people defaming his son? That's why they need a lawyer. Do you see how they do? So they want to go and attack Coach Prime and telling him to shut up. Stop complaining. This why they passed on your son. Well, I beg to differ, because the video I put out yesterday from the guy that hangs out with the NFL on their podcasts and their shows and their networks, he said two reasons why Shedeur didn't get drafted. Because Shedeur could not convince some teams, namely the Browns, the Raiders, and in the middle, the Giants, that he was willing to show up early and stay late like millions of people do, aka he's entitled. The Browns already said they didn't say nothing about Shedeur like that. They maintained from the beginning to Mary Cabot. A few days ago. Oh yeah, we never saw nothing like that. There's a reason why they pushing back on that. Nobody wants to be the one to say he was entitled and have to have that defamation put that they organization did it, because that ain't no joke. Because you robbed him and somebody gonna pay. Because believe me, if Deshaun Watson got $240 million guaranteed dollars after excessive misconduct, Shedeur ain't do nothing to nobody. He's a good kid. So that's why Mary Cabot, yeah, no, we didn't hear that. Yeah. Andrew Barry was like, no, he was good. He was good. Yeah, no, we didn't see nothing like that. The Pittsburgh Steelers, nope, the intangibles were good. We all impressed. The Titans. Yep, he's very mature. I was very impressed. Only the Giants. So that guy that went and lied on the World Wide Web that you got to stumble across, and I stumbled across it doing research, went there to lie because he could have easily put it on his social media that's modern, such as X or YouTube, but he did not. And he put it out the day after Coach Prime went on Asante Samuels. And he didn't say nothing about Coach Prime other than he should have had an agent. Shedeur should have had an agent. But no, the grown QB wants to keep his full pie, in quotes, by the way. And I was like, what kind of talk is this? You repeating what somebody said? So he wanted to keep his 4% and not pay an agent, but he ended up with nothing more than a uncooked Pop-Tart. That's what he said. So the guy coming out to blame Coach Prime wants to silence Coach Prime for coming out and telling the truth. So I'm glad ESPN running with it. I'm glad the Pivot running with it. And somebody ought to run with it every day until they pay Shedeur his money. Because they robbed him. And it's obvious that the media can see he's the best QB out there. The people that work there can see he's the best QB out there. Cleveland fans can see he's the best QB out there. So why is Cleveland, and whose script are they sticking to? And they treat him like he's a 4th-string QB and trying to rank him at the same level of Dylan Gabriel. And we knew in college he was not. And they see right now he was not. So whose script are they sticking to? People say the owners wanted Shedeur. The owners like Shedeur. That's bullshit. Because he would not allow them to treat him that way. I'd be on your if you treated my investment this way that can get me to the damn Super Bowl, you fired. That's how you protect people. Just like who's protecting the coach for the Giants when his name is attached to the same defamatory statements that the owner used to take Shedeur off the board. He should not have a job. And the GM should have been fired after fumbling Saquon Barkley. But you see, they both still have jobs. That's what protection looks like. You don't see that for Shedeur. They want to paint Shedeur as problematic, but they cool with Stephon Diggs and this pink powdery substance that mimics exactly the one that Diddy had and used. Aaron Rodgers just got with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Danica Patrick just put out allegations that he left a trail of bodily fluids that you have five pints of that you need to live for vital function. And then there's Deshaun Watson, a constant reminder, a constant question mark. Because I did come back and ask after looking at the 2023 season, which made me also question Kevin Stefanski and his coaching. How the hell you have rotate 6 QBs, 5 in the regular season, 3 of them hand you a winning record, and after the one you pulled off the practice squad got hurt at the last game, you don't go back to one of the 3 that gave you the winning record. You go with a relative unknown who's no longer there. So, I question Stefanski. I like him, but I'm just going to be honest. What the hell was going on with that? And then the next year, you 3-14, and Flacco is over here in Indiana or Indianapolis, and DTR gets sent to the Super Bowl winning team, and y'all get him for Pickett. DTR was the one they went to throw reps with Flacco in a damn live game. So why wouldn't you keep him? Better yet, why didn't you get Russ when Pittsburgh tried to force him out? The league tried to force Russ out of Pittsburgh. Why did you not get Russ? Because he interviewed with you first. This would have all been settled. But now you have the some damn stooges looking type situation over there. And they all seem like relatively nice people, but that's not what this is about. This is not a you a nice person contest here. This is a skills-driven activity. And Shedeur Sanders got the best skills, and y'all treating him again like the Pickett at Target ended. He ended his shift, and you drove by, and there he was. Come hop in the car, put on this jersey. Let me see what you can do. Like you don't know who the hell he is, but you pre-draft extensively, which is why y'all had to draft him. Yup. And then you want to pretend like you don't know who he is from the first press conference. And then now when you talking about he got to come in here and do this and we're not going to give him nothing. Okay. And he did. So what you going to do now? What you going to do now? And you still don't want to do right. You don't want to give him 11 on 11 reps like that's going to make us think what? That what we know? We already know. You ain't never got to give him 11 on 11 reps. And we still know he the best QB you got. So what you deserve is a hostile takeover. That's what you deserve. Just like Bryce Young. When the Panthers benched him and people knew it wasn't Bryce Young's fault for being benched, which is essentially what they're doing with Shedeur by making him the QB that's not even on the goddamn depth chart. Knowing he need to be first up there. Hell, move Deshaun Watson out the way since you so damn comfortable that he not going to ever play another snap in the NFL. Why are we playing charades here? Move him out the damn way. If you wanted to win, Shedeur would have had his damn number 2 on from day one. It would have been waiting in his goddamn locker. So whose script they sticking to? And if the owner liked him so much, why he allowing them to take what could get him to the damn Super Bowl? And that's obvious to everybody, including Green Shirt. He the damn became a damn believer. Ain't that something? This man was hating on Shedeur so damn much. He was like, you know what? After seeing him, he good. Now, I don't know why he don't know who the hell he is. But that's not the point. The point is he saw and he believed. And they still out here playing like he fourth string QB talent, or he truly a 5th rounder, when it's even starting to go viral on these big box channels in name only. The hell you say? It ain't got nothing to do with his skill set while he in the 5th round. So let me see what you're going to say now. I guess when I'm doing some more research, I'm going to stumble across some dusty interviews to try to explain why Shedeur Sanders in name only is a 5th round QB. It's collusion nonetheless. I don't give a damn why. Let's get that established. So we know it's collusion. We know you defamed him. We know he got the skill set. Check, check, check. So why the hell was he a 5th round draft pick? Does anybody want to answer that question? Because clearly it's in name only. He's not a developmental QB. He's actually your QB1 where you was going to draft him at number 2. But you traded that away. And you could have had Travis and Shedeur. Let's start there. Then you trade away Travis. And then you just watch Shedeur get pushed down. And then unexpectedly, you got to take him. And then you want to sit out here and treat him like he has developmental skills for a QB. Like he need training wheels. No, he better than everybody y'all have. And y'all know it. And now everybody does. So thank you. Thank you. And I'm proud of Shedeur for dealing with this. The people say adversity. This is something that starts with an R and it's not adversity. Because they want to stick to the script. Well, yep, we know he good, but we're going to put him over here so y'all can't see. Nope, we not letting him thought about a Jerry Jeudy because nope, we can't have that. That's why Jerry Jeudy is sharing a damn locker with who? Flacco. Why he not sharing a locker with Kenny Pickett? Because they ain't stupid. They know once Flacco landed, they knew what time it was. So they done went from having to get rid of one QB to people going, you got 2 QBs, you might as well move on from because neither one of them going to work out for you. And when people saw Shedeur and Flacco laughing and talking yesterday, because Flacco was wired up, and Shedeur was asking him about a dance move, that's chemistry. You can't fake it. People were like, when they saw them, they talking about Dylan and Kenny Pickett have no place here. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Deshaun don't either, but I guess they stuck with him. But they need to move him the hell out the number 1 spot. Because he blocking. Because they already know what they're going to do with Deshaun. That's obvious. But I told y'all he could be the wild card. Just if something happened to Flacco, they're going to be like, oh, Lord Jesus. That's why they don't want to let Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel go. They'll go with Dylan Gabriel starting before they go with Shedeur, and people going to clown them hard. I have watched some Cleveland fans. They are not happy. They don't like this. They like, we saw with our own eyes. People are saying, you're going to tell us what we didn't see? And now the big box channels running viral with it. Because why? The damn NBA finals is over. So they back to, hey, what happened? Yep, he good. They already knew he was good. But when we gonna talk about why was he a 5th round draft pick? So was he a 5th round draft pick? Why was he a 5th round draft pick? Shedeur the best QB. That's inside the building. Shedeur the best QB inside the building. 5th round draft pick outside the building with the media. He not a 4th string QB all over the place. Everybody see that. That's a consensus. Stefanski a good coach. The beginning of the blame game. The beginning of the blame game. So we at the beginning of the blame game, the beginning of the blame game. We're on the cusp of it. And then I'm waiting to hear the question or the explanations, whether they're above ground or slinking, slithering through the crevices, because I'm going to find it, that try to justify why he was a 5th round pick. So shout out to Cam Newton for standing up to whoever that was and telling the guy, no, Shedeur's being a father and you're attacking. You're not attacking Coach Prime. You're not attacking Deion Sanders. You're attacking Father Prime. He's a father. He has every right as a father to stand up against the nonsense that they putting out. That's what they do not want. They don't want other teammates to stand up for him. They don't want us to stand up for him. What did we get called? Loud and proud. They wanted to categorize the football fans that support Shedeur as Sanders Nation, but they didn't want to admit we just regular football fans and we actually support other teams. I'm sitting right here in Atlanta. They don't want to admit that these are regular football fans. They want to try to, well, it can't be because he's good. Well, it is. And what you going to do? So that's what we waiting on. The blame game starting. The justification of, oh, he was picked in the 5th round because we know now it's in name only. We know now. Everybody know now. And whose script they sticking to? Whose script? I think y'all can see the owners ain't really down like y'all said he was. Because if he was, he would never let that happen. I showed you what protection looks like. So the guy that was drafted instead of Shedeur, Jackson Dart, was had a horrible day. And his stats was up there and it wasn't good. And everybody admitting it. I'm like, again, if you watch the Senior Bowl like I did, the announcer said, oh, yeah, he hit his ceiling already. Right. So they pushed Shedeur out the way. They pushed Milroe, Michael Vick comp, Lamar Jackson comp out the way so they could take Jackson Dart, who already hit his ceiling. Tyler Shaw, his age and his injury proneness makes him a curious case. So you push talent aside that could get you to the Super Bowl. For what? Whiteness. That's it. There's nothing else. It's not the pocket passer because Shedeur's a pocket passer. You can't say you wanted the dual threat. Milroe's the dual threat. And again, Milroe's comp is who? Show me somebody else who's a Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson comp that run a 4.37. He checked off all the boxes too. Shedeur and Milroe. It should have been Cam, or really it should have been Shedeur, Cam, and Milroe. Or hell, it really is Shedeur, Milroe, and Cam. But all 3 of them. And one of them went first, and you don't hear nothing about him. Why? Because of 17 to 32. Because he's a QB. And I said to y'all, and I asked this a couple of days ago, and I put it on the title of the video, are the Cleveland Browns, or the NFL and the Cleveland Browns playing keep away with the QB1 position for Shedeur Sanders? Drop the answer in the chat based on what you now know. Do you believe the NFL and the Cleveland Browns are playing keep away with QB1 football playing for Shedeur Sanders? Good evening, everybody. It says, I was just going to join the podcast when the notification came. Okay. 17-32. Let's go. Yep. Jefferson, let's go. Shedeur showed these clowns. Yep. Coaches, you're him. Yep. He did. He already did. It said yes, allegedly. It said they knew Shedeur was him when they scouted him at Liberty. At Liberty? Who are you talking about at Liberty? I'm not understanding the Liberty part. Hey, Queen. Hey, Marlon. What's up? Hey, Tina. How you doing? Welcome back. It said his skills set Pete their interest off the charts. Right. And here's the thing. There's hours and hours of film on Shedeur. There's actually a video that I saw for the first time with just offensive highlights. Highlights of Colorado's offense last year. The whole offense. I was like, damn, I've never seen that before. Normally you see, I've seen Shedeur's highlights. I've seen Travis's highlights. I haven't seen any highlights for defense. I haven't seen any specialized individual highlights and highlights of the offense because they were good. They were fun to watch. That's why I always reference the Baylor game. It said, wasn't he the OC when he had the stack team? I don't know. I don't know because I don't know how he got to. I know they had a coaching change, so it's possible. Hey to the chat, how you doing, Jen J? Lunchtime stream. Yeah, we 4:00 now. You in California? Okay, yeah, I get it. Blame game. Start pointing. That's where we are, Salafi. It says Stephen A. said he spoke with Coach Prime. Okay, K. Hayes, thank you for straightening it out. So he did speak with Coach Prime, but I know it's out there. Okay, thank you. I might go watch it. Hey, Isaiah, how you doing? It said Rodney, hell, Coach Prime can call Amazon and do a sit down with them and expose the NFL. Right. Because I know he got a wheelbarrow of dirt. I know just on what I've unearthed my little short time. I know he got a wheelbarrow of dirt. And I'm telling you, if you go sit down and you listen to I See You, he's sitting at his gazebo with his feet up, but it's a voiceover in his voice. And the way it starts, it's like he talking to somebody. And I told y'all when he does that, sometimes it's a message, and whoever the message is for knows exactly what he's talking about. Look at how they treated his son, and look at how people have had to endure. What the hell did he see from 89 on? Maybe I should look at who the quarterbacks were during his era, and I could figure it out. Whoever the quarterbacks were when Coach Prime was playing, drop some names in the comments if y'all know. I totally agree, Rodney. I'm going to pin that one. Coach Prime can call Amazon and sit down. You did not lie. That's facts right there. Prime keep receipts. Facts. He is the wrong one. He is the wrong one. The NFL is looking real stupid. Yup. A lot of people on the outside can see through the red tape and cover up. Right, Isaiah? And the key word you used was stupid. And what did they get called on draft day as it pertains to who? Shedeur. It said Mary Kay needs to thank Shedeur for making her relevant. I agree because I watched her. I don't even know if I did a reaction on her, and I was gonna do more, but she just don't really interest me like that. Now there's some other people. If it's not copyrighted, I'm willing to react to their interviews. But she's just. I think she wants to covet the fact that she feel like she's the voice of the Browns. Once I saw Locked on Browns, I was good, and I haven't seen him since because we saw for ourselves, and now it's over. Now it's over. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Salafi said good and hope you are doing likewise. Okay, all right. It says Shedeur is making it hard for the Browns to not let him win in the top two. Right. Now get this. Even people who know Shedeur is the best QB out there feel like, and even me, I'm cool with Flacco starting. I just don't want Flacco to hand Shedeur a losing record. I don't. I also recognize that Flacco is 40, and I know how he took that hit that knocked him out of the last most critical game. So there are some serious factors here. But then the reason why I want Flacco to start, I want to see what that O-line going to do. Let me see what you do with him. Then we're going to let you get to Shedeur. Yeah, because we know Shedeur good. But I need to know what that O-line going to do. And if they show and they consistent with Flacco, I expect the same. And if we start seeing some issues, I expect the rotations to happen. And I expect Shedeur to be protected. So I'm okay with Flacco going first. I really am. And I think they're a good duo. They got good chemistry. I think, and Shedeur respects Flacco. I remember on draft night, he was like, they got Flacco. He been watching these people. He liked him. That's why when you see him out there, he got this big smile and everything. Hey, Miss Brown, Navalia. I hope I'm saying it correctly, Navalia. Can we call you Navi? Let me know. So yeah, he's making it really hard. And what it's doing, the longer Cleveland sticks to the script, because somebody done sent them a script. And Mary Cabot is a proof that's real. And it makes no sense that they're treating him like he's a fourth-string QB, or because you can no longer say, but he was drafted in the 5th round. Remember when we started talking about this? I said, y'all remember the guy on the NFL channel basically was saying what? That Travis Hunter is wearing his 12 from college, but they went to the next clip and it was Shedeur. And he said, but Shedeur, when you're a 5th round pick, you don't get to choose. Like they just sticking it to him good. They all look stupid. Because he wasn't a 5th round QB, developmental QB then, and he's definitely not one now. Shedeur looks good. And that's why people said when he get behind a good O-line, that's why a lot of people like, man, I wish he would have had a good O-line at Colorado. There's a couple of reasons why they didn't. What's up? What's up? Tuna, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. It said the other QBs were collateral damage. Official skate. Which other Q? Oh, you talking about Milroe. Yeah, I know, I agree. Milroe was definitely collateral damage. And now Cam Ward sees it. Cam Ward sees exactly what Shedeur told him when they were working out at UNLV. They're gonna come for you too. He thought when he got drafted, that was it. I suggest he look at Caleb Williams. And people say Caleb Williams didn't have a contract either. So that guy running around lying, talking about Shedeur should have had an agent. No, you don't need an agent for a guarantee, a non-negotiable contract. You can't even add incentives to it, which is why I think this year, it seems like they went away from that. I didn't have time to study that yet. But I heard Travis can make $300,000 to $500,000 more. And if that's the case, they went back to incentives and they ain't announced it. And it's just something that they did. Because they didn't have 5th-year options either, ever since that new CBA came out around 2020, 2021. I recall you saying it for 2015 to 2016. That's correct. The last time Flacco played a full season was 2016 or 2017. Yep, that's correct. Andrew Berry will not get another GM job. Dude is a joke. Well, if they need a patsy, they got one. They got one, because everybody not going to do that. Everybody not going to let you use them like that. And he seems to be willing. That's why when I saw him on that podcast, I kept it pushing. Said draft started on Thursday. Thank you, Rodney. So it was a Thursday. So see what I'm saying? This was a work week. This was a work day. People were at work. Dylan Gabriel, 2 of 5 today. Shedeur, 6 of 7 today. Make it make sense. The only way it makes sense is they sticking to a script. Who gave them the script? Whose script are they following? If they want to talk about why he was a 5th round draft pick, okay. Somebody said it on one of these channels. He said Shedeur's moving past falling in the draft. I'm like, no, he ain't. He might be. We need him to focus. We right here. I'm not going nowhere till somebody say it out loud. Why he was drafted in the 5th round, because my theory is the only one that makes sense. And now that you have had time to see how they don't even talk about Cam, it further proves my point. 17 to 32. They playing keep away with the QB1 position for Shedeur. They don't want to highlight Cam as the face of the league. He the number 1 overall pick. Hell, the last number 1 overall pick got sacked the most times in the NFL. How is that for good treatment? How is that for protection? People already asked before the draft how many times Shedeur was going to be sacked, because they were expecting him to be what? QB1. Cleveland is playing keep away with the QB1 position for Shedeur. And guess what? If they don't fix it, all that blame that's getting ready to happen that should be shifted toward the Giants is going to land right there in Cleveland. Watch what I tell you, because the fans have already proven they're not playing with y'all. So if y'all want to stick to somebody's script that they can't see and protect the Giants, then go ahead, because you ain't gonna have no job. Ask the scouts and all the scouts that they done fired from the Giants, trying to make it look like maybe they gave us bad information. Hell no. That ball straight on lied on him. The QB coach, all them ought to be good, but gone. But you see, they still there. You see who they protect. So thank you for that, Elijah. It said, aforementioned by you being astute, pointed out the language of both Cabot and O's management being identical. Whose management? Cabot and C's. Cabot and C's management being identical. Oh, thank you for that, Salafi. Yeah, they setting themselves up. Hey, I purchased my brown Shedeur jersey. Yay! Through Fanatics 5/20. Until this day, they are telling me orders will not be processed until players' numbers are confirmed. Anyone else having a problem? Remember when the number 12 came out? They said when they released the jersey numbers, it said the numbers are subject to change. So I said it the other day. When I saw this, I feel a 2 coming on. I feel a 2 coming on. That's just me. And he might want to keep the 12 because I saw a little handshake. He and his friend, whoever number 45 is. Does anybody know who's number 45 that Shedeur be hanging out with on Twitch? I want to see if he's still on the team. From when they did the cooking rooks to crooks or cooks or something like that. I wanted to see if he's still on the team and try to understand his name. He and Shedeur have a cute little handshake. That's the 1-2. It's so cute. I said I'm gonna get it. Maybe I can share it tonight. It's cute. It said pushing the negative narrative lace with snake venom. Yeah, I totally agree. Venom and disdain. It's all hate. And they want to drown Coach Prime out. I'm like, y'all mad because he got a daddy, but you respect who? Who they respect? They respect Archie Manning for what he did for Eli. And what they think he's not going to do it for his grandson too? They want to go ahead and get him, and they don't even know if he's good or not. They want to get him in name only. So when they say in name only for Shedeur, they must be trying to allude that he was pushed down to the 5th round because he's a Sanders. That must be what they're going to come up with. We're going to see, because we're going to be right here. Now, that ain't right. That's still collusion. That's still collusion. And while Shedeur probably ain't suing, and Coach Prime not, you see somebody else is. And that's the unexpected that they did not expect. But the reason why I was asking is why his numbers not confirmed yet. Because they said that numbers were subject to change. I told y'all I saw Travis Hunter jersey. That just means Fanatics don't want to press forward until they know for sure. And maybe the Browns haven't given them the final list of what the jersey numbers are. Because I told y'all I saw Travis Hunter jersey. You don't hear nothing about Pickett. He must be somewhere scared and shaking. Probably not, because he getting paid. I mean, they went from having one man out to having 2 quarterbacks that obviously could not help them get to the next level. And that is obviously Pickett and Gabriel. It's obvious Shedeur and Flacco are the 1 and 2. And nobody has a problem with Flacco starting. I figured they want Flacco to start because it's the hardest part of the season. I want Flacco to start so I can see what that O-line do. Yep. I saw who was out there on the golf course. I saw who they were interviewing and asking questions about Shedeur. I'm paying attention. It said, are they still playing games? Yes, they still playing games. Absolutely. They sticking to somebody's script. And they the ones that's going to get, they going to be the odd people out of a job because they going to get blamed. See, there comes a time when you collude with people. You got to cut bait because y'all about to get busted. And if I went through all this trouble to scapegoat Coach Prime, I'm definitely not going to get busted. And if I'm at the top and I ask you, a patsy at the bottom, to do something, and I keep telling you, stick to the script. Stick to the script. But over here, when we having these conversations, They like, yeah, it's just crazy how they treating that Sanders kid. He's so good. We're thinking about getting him over here in Philadelphia. Or we're thinking about bringing him to Jacksonville. Or yeah, we could maybe break that work. Is Kevin Stefanski a good coach? Because why wouldn't he play him like that? Why would he have him as a fourth string QB? You see what I'm saying? What's right here on the checklist? Stefanski a good coach. You ain't ever heard nobody question nothing about Stefanski since he got there. And now he looked like he about to be the first one to get it. The one that they sent out there to say what? Oh, yeah, he's good. We like everything about it. I told y'all. These dudes, I swear. It said, so yes, they're still playing games. I guess you in the chat say yes. Yeah, they're still playing games, so just hang tight. Right, the GM said he picked 12. I remember Coach Prime saying they wanted Cleveland because of the GM. Yeah, okay. And you know why? I know why. Because early on, and there's a video, and I just got to go back and get it. It's because the Browns heavily pre-drafted with Shedeur and made him believe they were going to take him. Andrew Berry looked so disgusted because he did all the work until March 31st when the owner come out and say, yep, we took a big swing and miss with Deshaun Watson. We need to unbury ourselves out of that. So if what I said is true about Deshaun Watson's contract being, we're going to give you money back, then why would they throw him under the bus like that? And how did they take a big swing and miss if his record is 8-4 as a starter? Even through all the instability in the 2023 season. 3 quarterbacks playing 7 games. It's a lucky any of them could win 2 games in a row. We all know what that does. So the Browns GM, when New York was the one coming out of, see, it's like the teams competing against each other. I want you to know that's what I'm seeing. The teams competing. Like when Bryce Young got benched, just like with Sheduer's situation, you just ain't seen it yet. Bryce Young got benched. What happened? Outside of LeBron James coming out saying that ain't on you, bro. Other teams start calling the Panthers to get Bryce Young. And they was like, we not finna. Teams compete against each other for talent. Because there are some teams trying to go to the Super Bowl. Because some people got this, a coach got to save his job. I can't just be lousy unless you playing for a team that really don't want to get there. Maybe you can play for the Cowboys because they gonna pick you as their favorite anyway. And you see who their coach is. So they're not serious. But if you're on a team like Philadelphia, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities to mess up. Because for one, the fans going to be all over you. And then people saw what happened in New York when the video came out about how lackadaisical the GM was, even when the owner was telling him, I'm not going to be able to sleep if we lose Saquon Barkley. Where are we with the Saquon Barkley thing? There was another guy in the room who just looked down like, I just wish I was invisible. And the owner the GM act like it was his team. Like, whatever. Well, Chicago running up the price, but, thinking Saquon didn't have value. If you thought Saquon Barkley didn't have value, you have no place in this league. And you got this job because you somebody's nephew, son, husband, in-law. And that's probably the case. Just running the franchise in the ground. So now we are looking at Cleveland the same way people were looking at the Carolina Panthers. And now we're at the point where insiders and outsiders and the media overall and everybody with eyes that paid attention can see he's not a 5th round draft developmental QB. He's not a 4th string QB. He's the best QB you have. So why are you hiding him? Somebody gonna take the blame for that. And maybe that's why Andrew Berry's on podcast. Because see, he a GM. He did his part. That's what he can stand on. Well, I drafted him. And now it's going to hang on Stefanski. Because they didn't ask, should Andrew Berry be fired? Is he a good GM? Even with Deshaun Watson's contract that they blamed him for. They're asking, is Stefanski a good coach? That means they're not happy with something. But who's doing the asking? And where the owner at? You see what I'm saying? The blame game. We on the cusp of it. Watson was an owner's pick. I bet he was. Because what did we learn about the owners from an agent? The owners are incestuously close. And that's what I mean by the teams compete. The owners make deals. When that 47 came up and said, y'all stupid, the owners talking to each other. Were they in the green rooms? No. They probably was all somewhere together or all could talk to each other. And when they saw that, they all looked at each other and didn't say nothing. And somebody got told what to do. And it so happened to be the team that they pre-draft with extensively. They could make it look like they devalued him, which is also something that they can get in trouble for. That's unethical. They can make it look like what we know now. He was entitled, take him off the board. You think they wanted that to come out? No. When Boomer Esiason said that, I was like, what? I was like, thank you. And he said it with his chest out. Well, the owner said, take that entitled so-and-so off the board, and I agree. I was like, what? Do you know what you just admitted? Have you seen him since? So when Chris Sims came out and said, Shedeur should have had an agent, yada, 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 they caught hell. I know they did because he said it on a big box channel, and I ain't seen him since either. So that explains why the guy that I talked about in the interview, in the video I did yesterday, is slinking on the World Wide Web where you got to stumble across it, and not on his true social media platform where everybody could see it because he got over 1 billion followers. Why you didn't put it there? Because he know what was going to happen. The same thing that happened to Chris Sims. So they trying to find different ways and different ways to attack Shedeur Sanders and Coach Prime. And when that didn't work, because it didn't really go nowhere, they came out with this guy that Cam Newton was saying, no, Coach Prime is right. So see, people are pushing back. People are pushing back at how they treat Coach Prime, following his interview, how they scapegoated him, and how they defamed and pushed down and devalued his son. Shedeur gonna get his money. Understand that. But we at the blame game phase. Jerry say, all right, he said, Stefanski is two-faced. The intentions are not with Shedeur. He's not a good coach. He's garbage. Isaiah has nothing good to say. The same with the GM. Oh, yeah, he definitely trash too. No point him having a job. They might as well give it to a white guy. And let me tell you why. Because they using Andrew Berry for his melanin to say they not what starts with an R. Drop it in the chat. That's all they doing. Getting away with doing dirty stuff to people like who? Possibly Deshaun Watson. Because if you say you took a big swing and missed with Deshaun Watson after an injury, is that something that you should be saying as an employer? Throwing somebody under the bus publicly because they tore their Achilles heel after they played multiple games for you and balled out, and you still didn't give them the opportunity to be consistent and ball out? You see what I'm saying? Just scapegoating everybody. And to me, if Andrew Berry didn't have the melanin that he has, you would instantly see through it. You'd be like, that's ugly. But when Andrew Berry takes the fall for it, oh, I guess, you know, it's nothing there. Smoke and mirrors. That's what people call it. Thank you, Jerry. It said, I quote, Master P, I see the jealous and hate. The jealousy and hate. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it is. That's all it is. It explains why they would mistreat somebody like Shedeur and why they will overpay somebody like Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's just obvious. When you put them two, that's just obvious. Why the hell would you overpay Trevor Lawrence? Because you don't want to overpay Lamar Jackson, which is why you colluded against him. It is documented. When he came up for MVP, suddenly all 32 teams, nope, we good. They have done that so many times. They just know what to do. That's why they say in the draft, when one team who was interested, like the Browns, backs away, everybody backs away. That's just a clue to collude. So they don't have to say it out loud. But Boomer Esiason said it, and I thank you. Shedeur said if any team wants to change their culture, then draft him. Are they not paying attention? Right. But they comfortable with overpaying Trevor Lawrence. $275 million with 200 guaranteed. Have y'all seen his record? Have y'all seen his touchdowns and interceptions? Jacksonville even talk about how they didn't want to get overhyped for this season because of where they are as a franchise and where they have been year after year with Trevor Lawrence. Fans know in Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence is problematic. So I sent out a poll and asked people what they thought if Travis could be successful with a QB that's struggling. Some people said he can be because he's that good. He can make it happen. Or if the receivers are good and a quarterback struggling, it balances itself off. Or that Travis should be okay despite Trevor's inaccuracies, inconsistencies. Travis can still make it happen. All right. I hope Travis don't get hurt trying to make it happen. Crossed up in the middle. Another reason people should wait to order these jerseys. When I saw them with the double zeros, I was like, drum roll. Like Mike Jones said, back then they did want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Who said that? Salafi. Absolutely. That's the quote of the day. Back then they did want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. That's it. I've been running around singing. They told me bust out my AP, perfect time. And I closed out the show last night that way. I was singing it again today. I was learning the lyrics. I haven't hit my peak yet. Facts. Shedeur has a ceiling. Shedeur met his ceiling. And see, that's going to be another problem. Ooh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good in New York. Russ is good, right? We know Russ took Pittsburgh to where? The playoffs, right? So technically, Russ should be their starter for all of the games, not for enough to declare him a backup. For all of them. And then they got Dart out here stinking up the place in OTAs, and you see they don't want to talk about it. I reposted it on X. Y'all got to follow me on X. I reposted it on X, and I said, yeah, well, if you watch the Senior Bowl, the commentator said he already hit his ceiling. So what the hell did the Giants see? Whatever the man is wanted to see. So maybe they're not really just protecting Daboll. Maybe they protecting a lot of other people too. Because maybe if you fire me Daboll, I'm going to tell. I'm going to run tell it. This is a mess. Believe me, this is a mess. It's a whole mess. And they want to explain away the prank. Oh, Mason Graham got a prank. Not by these people right here. And not when he was about to get picked. I don't care if he got randomly pranked, because that's not what this was. The Saints were on the clock. He knew to call while they were on the clock. He knew Shedeur was going to have to wait. This is not happenstance. That's why they're not talking about it. That Ole Miss sweatshirt connection points right back to the Giants. The owner's, the defensive coordinator's son, he go to school in Pittsburgh, New Jersey. Barry College. He don't even go to school at Ole Miss. If he went to school at Ole Miss, I would get it. And honestly, I just been too busy. But there's a video I want to go back and look at and see if the room they was in this bigger room that I saw. And I'm going to have to look at the crown molding and the shit on the wall to see. And one day I'm going to do it. And I might actually see somebody that they hope that we never catch on to in one of the other photos that matches the room in the house that they was in. I just hadn't done it yet. Sometimes you just got to let stuff go and let people think they got away with it. And then they just get caught off guard. Drum roll. Like Mike Jones. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much, RL Football. Thank you. Hopefully you subscribe and join us. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We get down like this every day. 3 times a day. 3 times a day. 12:30, 4 p.m. And we will be back tonight at 9:30. And I already know what I'm talking about. So thank you. First of all, our Father God, always be the last word. Yep. Always has the last word. Shedeur has represented and walked his faith well. Yep. Don't think folks are not scratching their heads saying he's built different. Oh, I totally agree with that, Miss Elaine. Absolutely. Absolutely, Elaine. Kay Hayes, I listen to how they talk about the QBs, and it seems like Pickett and Gabriel are the guys they want to play. They must want to play them in preseason. And they cool with losing them preseason games. Or maybe they don't think they're going to be difficult. Here's the thing. The writing is on the wall. And we all can see it. 80% of us already knew. This the Cleveland fan base that didn't know the Colorado fan base. They knew. But understand this. Shedeur and Travis were some of the two most talked about college football players. Colorado was one of the most watched bowl games for a non-playoff team. This is not their first time hearing about Shedeur Sanders. Maybe some of them. Like maybe the guy who called up and said, what? Well, I was with y'all at first, but, I've been watching this guy. And now that's what everybody's saying. Even Green Shirt has changed his stripes. Do you know how huge that is for somebody to hate you to the point where they blame you for every single thing, even the jewelry you're wearing? To the point other people that work with them are calling them out, and then they watch you at 7-on-7s or 11-on-11s because you must have been there. And then suddenly you can hear the joy in his voice. He ready to watch Shedeur ball out for Cleveland. What? That's what you call undeniable talent. And it's not fifth round talent. So they saying he fifth round talent in name only. I'm going to need you to expand on that for me. What you mean by that? Because I know you're saying it's not about his skills. Right. So what is it about? Because we know it's because it isn't because he didn't have an agent, because he's not the only person to not have an agent. That's foolish. Just like Coach Prime said. We know it's not because he don't show up early or late like other people, which means it's entitled, because it's already been proven he's not entitled. He don't act entitled. He has a history before the NFL, and it matches with the one in Cleveland. So y'all lying. And if you feel like you justified in what he did, why you gotta lie? Because if you gotta lie, you ain't right. You covering up. Who you covering up for? Why is the media going so hard? Some of the media, these now ones that are they're singled out. Now you can see who the problems are. See, at one time they was coming at you from all sides. And they done moved off from that. And now they can't even go back to it. That's why Mary Cabot stands out right now. But nobody's listening. But the people that want to hate on Shedeur, and even the people that didn't know him, or people like Green Shirt that wanted to hate on him, they don't even hate no more. Cleveland is in trouble. Somebody finna get fired, finna get blamed. It's happening. I'm telling you. I say we on the cusp of it as we are talking is moving within the buildings. Because why? Fans in Cleveland who did not even know who Shedeur was are now believers. People who hated him in Cleveland, the media, now believers. That is undeniable talent. You cannot bury undeniable talent on the depth chart. Stay tuned. You are on fire today. I love your passion. Thank you. They will reap what they sow. Facts, facts, facts. All right, we get ready to wrap up and get out of here because I got to get ready for 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much. Isaiah said, Miss Lady, I can hear you talk all day. I love your show. Thank you. Thank you so much, Isaiah. It said a woman that loves football is a total package for a brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It said, let the rabbits out. It said, that's so funny. You're exposing these clowns. Yup. They exposing themselves. Yup, I agree. Because I told y'all yesterday, the longer you play in Shedeur face. What I told y'all yesterday before I saw this, I was going to stand on their heads this weekend. I said, I think I just might go slow. Because we knew he wasn't comfortable. When we saw this, we knew he was comfortable. And we like, okay, but if they keep trying to bury him on the back of that depth chart, I'm going to be standing on their heads. Just tuning in right quick. Hey, James, how you doing? Chilling at Virginia Beach. Look at James, y'all. James hanging out in Virginia Beach with your fiance listening. Okay. Hey, Miss Fiance. Hey, Miss Future Wife or Wifey, Miss Future Mrs. Anderson. Okay. What's up? What she said? Hey, Michael Smith. It said to catch the fox. Oh, okay. So we're gonna get out of here. I read all the comments. This was awesome. This was awesome. So we good. We're gonna pick up where we left off and see if anything else transpires. Shiloh played golf earlier today at a Bucks rookie event. I'm starting to hear good things about Shiloh out there, which is good. So we're gonna try to tap in with Shiloh and see what's going on. And he didn't know how to play golf, so he said he could putt, and I was like, that's because they got the putting thing at the house. And I said, okay, so it's true they don't play golf, but they do use that. They do know how to putt. They grew up with that, so that helped them out today on the golf course. But one of the guys was primarily showing Shiloh, how to play, what matters, this, that, and the other. So he went live at their rookie outing, their rookie golf event. So we'll see if we can get some footage from that tonight. And then we'll check in with Shedeur and see the latest. And Jimmy Horn Jr. is still out. Haven't heard anything else about LeJontay. And I don't hear much about Cameron Silvercraig or BJ Green, who's in Jacksonville with Travis. And Travis has a mentor now. Brian Thomas, Brian Thomas? I think he's the one that's kind of showing Travis like the NFL world for the most part. And I'm like, okay, I like that. So he got somebody new, in his life that could be a friend on the team. So I actually like that pairing because they both play wide receiver. All right, y'all. So we're going to get out of here. We'll be back tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. 78 of us, 56 likes. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. All right. See y'all later. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you.